everybody, welcome to our channel. Today's video is going to be installment number 2 of the palette sort section of our video. I don't know what volume this is, but here we go. We're going to get started. These palettes that are back here are all the same brand. Like I have 3 Too Faced, I have 2 Pure Cosmetics, some Ciate London, some Juvia's Place, Natasha Denona, and Huda. The rest of and I've got some Wonder Beauty. The rest of these are all one-offs, meaning I only have one in that brand. So without further ado, let's get into it. And please remember, I am opening each one of them to show you. So if it's in a carton, it's coming out of the carton. If you don't want to sit through all of that, you can try to fast forward through it if you want to, or put me on double speed or something. But I'm going to show you each and every palette. Let's start with Butter London. I got this from Barbara's Beauty Bag. I believe I've used it before. This brown and blue look really good together. So there's that one. Then we have Morello Twins. I do believe I've used this one as well. I believe the wheel chose it. Yes, it did, because I demolished that shade right there. Now, I don't recall any of the eye lifts that I may have created with any of the palettes that I've used. If I do happen to come across a palette that the wheel has chosen here recently, which would be the next video that you'll see, because that shelf seems to be where all of the shades are coming from. Next is the Toy Factory, Sidekick 1. And it is a full face palette, meaning it's got, I don't see a highlighter though, it's got bronzer, blush, and then all the eyeshadow shades. So there's that. But I didn't see a highlighter in there, so I'm not sure why they're calling it a full face palette. Or nope, it just says face palette in built-in mirror. But there's not a highlighter, so it's not a face palette. The Witching Hour by Amuse. I got this in friend mail, but I do not remember from whom. I believe it was Tanelia Kim. So if you happen to remember, if you gave this to me, Tanelia, let me know in the comments below. Then we have the Cella palette. This is Divine something. Where is it at? Limited edition of Divine Purpose. Daily reminder, it's within us all, is what that says. But there are those shades. Blue and brown just go together, just like what's on my shirt. Blue and brown. Then our next one is going to be this Colored Rain Vineyard Soiree eyeshadow palette. This is a little guy. I've used this palette as well. This was a while ago that I used this palette. I was still living up north Michigan. I'm now in mid-Michigan. Then we have Urban Decay palette. This is the Essentials palette. I believe I got this from, if it wasn't Tanelia Kim, then it was probably just Jessica. And there's just that one shade that's missing. Then we have Laura Geller. I believe this came in a Ipsy subscription, an Ipsy box rather. And this is Soft Satin, 6 matte shadows, and 2 highlighters. So there's that, and I've never used this. I do have a Laura Geller foundation, I believe. It's a baked foundation. And this is from Sydney Grace, and it is Where the Wild Things Grow. I believe I got this from Shellbell, and I've never used it. And those are the shades. Then we have Cab Cosmetics. I did get this from BoxyCharm. Or no, this came from Ipsy, not BoxyCharm. And I have used this before. This is the Day to Night. Yeah, day and night. I don't know if you can make that out. It's black on black writing. I got this from Shellbell. It's my one and only Nomad palette. And this is Cartagena Magica. And there is that shade that's broken. And then we have the Dominique Cosmetics. I think this one is an all matte palette. Yep, it's a transition palette is what it's called. And it's all matte shades. Mattes and neutrals, I believe. Yes, all matte and neutral shades. And then we have Trend Beauty Tempting. Oh, doesn't look like I've used this one either. Okay, let me move this Leaning Tower here. And then we'll come back and finish the Odd Man palettes. And then we'll go on to the other palettes. All right, and then we have the Kimchi Chick. I'm Feeling Sweet. And it doesn't look like I've used this one either. Then we have these and these. This little Luna Magic, the Amore palette. I believe this came in Ipsy as well. I think this is fairly new to my collection. Yes, it is. And it's just a little 5-pan palette. So I think on the times that the wheel picks these 5-pan palettes, I don't know that I'll be able to create 2 different eye looks out of this palette. So if I'm not, then I would just use one of my e.l.f. palettes for the second eye look. Unless I can come up with 2 different eye looks using this palette. But I really don't think I'm that talented. And then this one came in Ipsy in December, I believe. And it is Cinta London. I swore that this said Ciate London at first. But then there are those shades. And of course, the palette hasn't chose this one either. And don't mind the running cat. I think Linda found some catnip or something. He's full of piss and vinegar right now. He keeps coming in here clawing at my leg. And then the Glow Core, I believe I got this in the October Ipsy bag. And there are those shades. And then I can never ever figure out how to say this name. I think it's Reina Ribaldi, if I'm not mistaken. But it's so hard to pronounce it. And it says these are wet, dry eye colors. So I guess you can use them wet or dry. That's a pretty palette too. You would think my favorite color would be blue, as much blue as I have. I didn't realize how many palettes I had with blue. This one I got in Ipsy not very long ago. It was last year though, and it's been since I've been in this house. I just don't remember which month it was. And this is the JX You and Me in Miami. It's just a little 9-pan palette. Then we have Peppermint Mocha from Ruby May. And I believe I got this from Just Jessica as well. And this I got from Shellbell. And it is Jasmine Labelle Cosmetics Together at Last. And there's that palette. We have Il Maquillage. This definitely came in an Ipsy bag. It's just a little 4-pan palette. So if the wheel were to choose this one, then I would definitely have the wheel choose one of the e.l.f. palettes. Because I don't have the e.l.f. palettes on. I have one. I need to double check to make sure that I have more than one. But I have bite size on there a couple times because I figure with the bite size palettes, I mean, that's one eye look. It's 4 shades. So I have a separate wheel with the e.l.f. shadows on them. And then this is AOA Studios, and I have used this container because I did a full face of Shop Miss A makeup. So let me take care of these, and then we will be back to start on this stack first, because this is the stack that I have the least amount in. I mean, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Natasha Denona 5-pan palettes. So there's that. All right, so I know you guys saw me grab these off the pile because I forgot I had 2 Essence palettes. These both came from Tanelia Kim. This one is Bronzed This Way. It's a little 6-pan palette, and this is Dancing Green, another little 6-pan palette. So I think if the wheel were to choose one, I would probably get them both out so I can do a different eye look for Monday, one for Monday and one for Wednesday. I think that's what I would do, just because, I mean, normally my looks are at least between 4 to 6 colors. I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below. Do you think that would be a good idea? So if the wheel were to choose Dancing Greens or Bronzed This Way, should I grab out both of these? What are your thoughts? And then I have 2 Wander Beauty. I have Sunkissed. And these, of course, came in Ipsy. So here's the first one, Sunkissed, and I've never used it. Looks like this would be a one-hit wonder as well. Or I might do the face palettes as one look, and then this down here is another look. I could do that. And then we have Trailblazer. And I think at one point I had 2 of these as well. And I don't think I've ever used this either. I don't even think I ever even looked in the Sunkissed one, to be completely honest with you. Or if I did, it was so long ago I've done forgot. And then I have 3 palettes from Too Faced. The first one is Pinker Times, and I got this from Ipsy as an add-on, and I've never used it. But there's that one. Tell me that's not gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And then I got the Too Faced Swan palette. This came from the beautiful Simply Steph. Palm Springs Dream. I believe I bought this from Connor Kristen on her either Poshmark or Macari page a while back. But there's that. I don't believe I've used this either. And then I've got the Pure Festivals. I have volume 1 and volume 2. Show you volume 1 first. And I've used both of these palettes. These two shades are glitters, and I don't like glitter. And then the volume 2, I don't recall if this has any glitter. I got the volume 1 in friend mail and the volume 2, and there's no glitter in this one. So I got both of these in friend mail from different people or at different times. I don't believe I got them at the same time. Okay, and then we have Ciate London. That shade right there came broken, so I had to repress it, and this came from Ipsy. And then I have the Ciate London Editors palette, which I believe came from BoxyCharm, if I'm not mistaken, or it could have come from Ipsy. But I have used this palette before. And my lights are dying, so I may have to readjust and move us over this way some so that I can plug one of the lights in. Then I have the Ciate London I Am Woman, What's Your Superpower, Volume 2. And realize that this one was in volumes, and I don't believe I've not used this one at all either. There is that. Alrighty. Now we have Juvia's Place, the Sweet Pinks. And of course I love this palette. Why wouldn't I love this palette? What's not to love about this 6-pan palette? We also have the Nubian palette. I think I've used this one as well, but I'm not positive. Yes, I have used this one as well. And those two so far, and this one, I bought off Juvia's Place's website a while back, or maybe I got it from Ulta. And this is the Nubian 3 Coral, and I've used this one as well. And the next two I got in friend mail. So I have the Zulu by Juvia, and then I have the Wahala palette as well. All right, now let's readjust so that we can see a little bit better. Okay, so we're in a little different area. You can see a little bit of here we go. There we are, right there. My vanity. So now let's go into the Huda. This is the Coral Obsessions. I had 2 of these. One of them came broken, and I guess it was this one, and that was the shade that was broken, but I repressed it. Then we have the Huda Mint. I've never used it. And then we have the Gems collections next. We have Amethyst, Emerald, and the Mauve. Here's Amethyst. I swear I thought I used that, but maybe not. Emerald, I have used this one, and the Mauve, and I've used this one. Then we have the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Palette Remastered. This came in an Ipsy. I honestly don't remember where these 9-pan palettes came from. I know the Coral Obsession came from Ipsy. I don't remember where the other ones came from. And I have used this palette before. And then lastly, we will get into the Natasha Denona palettes. And all of them came from either Ipsy or BoxyCharm. All of them. So first we have the Rosewood. And I don't know what palette these are supposed to have come out of. Because these are supposed to be 5 pans out of one of her major palettes, but I don't know. This is the Fez palette. This is the one, I think, that has that blue shade in it. Yes. And I think I'm just going to take these out of the box, since I do have some that aren't in the box. And then this one is the Hot Topic palette. This is the Jubilee palette. And this one also has, that is a navy blue. And we have the Alloy palette. And if you know what palettes these all came out of, or am I right that these came out of palettes? This is the Ayana palette, and I've never used any of these. And last we have the Cupid palette. So those are all of my eyeshadow palettes from the second to the bottom drawer. I made all but one into the trash can. So how are you liking these videos? Are you thinking that I have a problem and that I shouldn't be getting Ipsy anymore? Because I do. But I think I'm still going to get it in February and March, and then I'm going to be done, and I'm going to cancel. That's my thought. I'm going to cancel after March. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cancel after March. And hopefully I can cut out some of the dead air in this video because it's over 30 minutes. Come on back for the 3rd installment of the eyeshadow palette collection, where we go through all of that first cabinet below the Jeffree Star and Glamlight, mostly Jeffree Star. So come on back. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and remember to be kind to one another. You know the rest.